Hello. It's National Coming Out Day, and I realized I was having some thoughts about it, both thinking about my own coming outs, thinking about what coming out even means, because those of you who have come out as LGBT, Q, queer, trans, like maybe there's this one moment that you could remember telling a lot of people, or even really important people in your life, that you're about who you are, the truth about who you are. But then it happens all the time. We come out all the time. I'll give you an example. This morning, me and my partner, we were at the gym. She's like my guest at the gym today, and it's on the north part of Colorado Springs, which is known as to be more conservative. So it's a heteronormative, cisnormative environment. So the fact that she and I were we were engaging with each other on a very familiar level. I gave her a hug and kiss goodbye in the locker room, and we were talking with each other in the sauna. Like, obviously we were together because we were talking about things about the day and all that. And so the fact that we are in a hetero and cisnormative space, just being ourselves, it means we're coming out. Every time I ask somebody not to call me ma'am, or to call us ladies, or I try to teach somebody to use they, them pronouns for me, I'm coming out as being non-binary. And it can be tricky because I like being visible. And at the same time, it can be exhausting and it can be daunting to do it every day. So, but we're talking about National Coming Out Day in a different way, in which it's maybe encouraging people to let know that they are supported if they end up coming out as LGBTQ and trans and queer. I was thinking about when I came out, I would say the first coming out I had was in 1998, and I came out as 24, and I came out as bisexual. Now, there wasn't social media, so it's not like I made this big announcement, but I told my mom, I told my dad, I told some friends from college. I think I might have told my brother and sister. But what happened was that I was married to my daughter's dad at the time, but I developed really strong feelings for a coworker when at where I worked, and I had feelings for girls ever since I was like 7 and 8 years old, but and attractions to girls, and I'll say because I was a child at that point, so it was to girls, but never could be honest or admit it to myself. So when I was 24, I didn't even know the option existed for bisexual until I moved to Colorado. I moved from Kentucky, and so I was astounded to find out I could be married to my husband and also admit that I had attractions to women. And so I came out in 1994. Then in 2004, which was 10 years later, when I was it wasn't 2004. It was 2004. Yes, I was 30. And after a lot of soul searching and other behind the scenes things going on, had to definitely admit that I was actually not bisexual, but I was gay. And at the time, and since I'm non-binary, I don't very often say that I'm gay, because that infers that I'm attracted to the same sex and gender, and that's just even a whole mess. But coming out when I was 30 as not being able to be married to my husband anymore, so I got divorced. In that case, there was not really social media still to come out on, but I did, at that point I had to tell everybody because I was getting divorced, and I wanted to be honest about one of the main reasons that was getting divorced, and it felt great. And I remember writing an email to a very good friend of mine and telling her, that was where it felt to me like I was really coming out. I was like, I'm going to say the words, and this is what's true about me. So that was really important moment to look back on. Again, it just seems so funny because it's before social media time, where it really is a big deal nowadays. Like, when you come out, you can decide to put it on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and like everybody can find out all at the same time. And that's just not the way it was for when I came out. And so I just think it's very interesting. I wonder what it would have been like if it was different. So that's how that went. And I then coming out as non-binary, honestly, I don't think I ever came out officially as non-binary. At this point, I did have social media at my fingertips, because this was when I was 40. So about 5 years ago is when I started realizing I was probably not cisgender. But publicly, and with my friends, I just started playing around with stuff, changing my appearance in different ways. I eventually got breast reduction surgery, and after that, didn't want, I wanted people to use they, them pronouns instead of she, her. For me, there was not really this big one coming out. I just it was like little sips of it over a period of probably 4 years. If somebody's not on social media, they might not know that I'm non-binary. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm spending time with family who I haven't seen for a while, or friends I haven't seen for a while. I have to remember I need to update them. So I guess I would say I'm really fortunate in that sense that, for instance, with my partner, it wasn't like something I suddenly had to just confess or reveal and be afraid that it was going to change our relationship. It was almost like I looked back in time and I was like, wow, I just kind of did it. And everybody sort of just started trying to go along with it, or some have done better than others. But so that was not necessarily a big coming out for being non-binary. But yeah, going back to 1998, sorry, and thinking about coming out as bi, it was just, it's just such a different world. I will say I'm very fortunate that all the 3 coming outs that I've had, I've not had family rejection. Maybe one friend from college I feel like rejected me for it, and I know I'm so fortunate for that. And so for anybody who's watching this, I know there's a lot of different types of people who are probably watching, but if you are thinking about coming out, it's okay if you don't do it today. Maybe it's just on your mind a lot. Just know that there's a lot of people out there today sharing that there is support out there, and I hope that you're able to really believe that and see that and be able to find your community to help you when you do this. So for those of you who are cisgender or straight, or who really don't, National Coming Out Day does not necessarily apply to you, but maybe you have loved ones who have come out, or if you're just a really good ally, I appreciate you being in this world as well, because it really does make it better and easier for us to exist in it. So I guess that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for listening. Feel free to chat with me below. Bye.